Today I'll be calling cable. My name is Wilcar Meyer and I'm your Elliott Wave analyst, reviewing what has been and predicting what is likely to be in cable price action. So I'm going to do a little bit of a overall update. For the longest time since I've been doing these videos, I've been saying that the pound is making a triangle and that it's going to go short, and that the labeling was basically like this: A, B, C, D to there, and then E to here, and then it was over, okay? But then it made a new low and then made a new high past the origin of what I was calling 1, so that sort of shook my confidence, if you will, and then I started to think, well, maybe it's making a bullish triangle as opposed to a bearish triangle. So I've had some time to think about it. I just kept thinking about it, and realistically, based on what I think the dollar needs to do, I'm going to revert back to my bearish triangle. Now, the problem that I was having is that this leg right here that I was calling C, terminating, about right there, I was calling that the complex leg. And that then left me wondering about this movement down right here that I'm now calling D, because to me that looks like a complex movement as well. So I did the count of the C wave some time ago, so I went back and sort of revisited that C wave movement, and I now am able to find a way to count it as 535, which would be simple, which would allow this to be complex and would allow us to still be in the E wave, okay, which I don't think is over. I think we're barely halfway through it, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to zoom in and sort of see where we are with regards to the finishing of the E wave. But keep in mind, all right, so here's your A wave, it's making a B wave triangle, and then it's going to push short down to at least, I think, 1.15. It's going to need to retrace the move from 1985 to 2007, at least 90%. So, yeah, so let me go ahead and zoom in now to an 18-hour chart and see where we are based on, whoops, that's the same chart, see where we are based on that thought process. Let me go ahead and turn that to 18 hours so you can see the whole movement. And there it is. Okay, so let me remove some of this labeling. All right. So if it is indeed making the E leg, I think what is happening is it still hasn't finished A, okay? I was saying that this was 5 waves contracting, right? Second wave, it's making a third wave, and I think right now it's making a fourth wave. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3 is finished. I believe it's making 4. I think the A portion's over. It's going to push up, make the B part of 4, then come back down to make the C part of 4, alternating with the, I think this is a double zigzag. That would make it a flat. It's going to push up. 5 will be shorter than 3 because 3 is shorter than 1. And I believe that 5 waves up will complete A of the E wave. Okay, so when this, now we're back on the monthly chart. When this move up finishes, it'll probably touch this trend line, and that'll be 5 waves up. Then you're going to see a retrace, right? Maybe it'll come back to that. Let's see, because the first wave was the longest, it's going to come into this second wave price zone, right? So, maybe it'll run all the upside numbers for, I think this is for the week. and then come down. So you could see it move under 157.25, right? So you could see something like a 500 pip run, which would be, if it did that, we can just kind of guesstimate here, and that would put it somewhere between 38 and 61%, which, you know, for a zigzag B wave, that sounds about right. And then you would see it push up again. We'll go back to the monthly chart. So this move up would be A. I think that you would then see it move down in a B wave, something like that. And then you would see it push long again into a C wave, right? And maybe that C wave would be truncated relative to A, you know, it would sort of respect this trend line. Or it's possible that you would see the E wave break the trend line. You know, if you're familiar with the Elliott Wave book, it says the E wave usually undershoots the trend line or breaks through it, which many take as a signal that, you know, price action is going to go in that direction, but it's a false signal. What the E wave needs to do is stay under the C wave. So it could easily break the trend line, stay under that C wave, and then go short. So I'm looking for something like that. Whether it breaks the trend line or not, don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think that's what it's doing now. So we're going to get another push long, right? It's going to finish this correction. It's going to push long in 5. We're going to get a pretty significant, maybe 50% retrace, and then another push long. So that's where I think we are right now. I feel pretty good about that count and how it sets up relative to the dollar and the other dollar cross pairs. So I'm going to stick with that as my top count, and we'll see how that plays out. That's today's call. I hope you'll join me again for tomorrow's call.